Uh-huh. Lots of information to uncover.
So many things.
It's not the crime. It's the cover-up.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
It gets you in trouble.
That's what they say. Anyways, thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us, you have no idea what we were just talking about. But that's just a general thing, right there. But also, as we were talking about earlier about the Secretary of Defense going to the doctor for what you said, an elective procedure
day surgery. He went home, but then developed complications, and then forgot to tell his boss that he was out for a few days,
and then ended up in ICU and currently still there.
He's still in the hospital. He's not in ICU now, but he is in the hospital.
Dang. It is Monday, and there's a lot of things going on today. Weather-wise, we might get some snow. Cloudy and a high 38 later tonight. 100% chance for some snow. Accumulation around 2 inches with a low down to 32. If we don't get snow, it's 100% chance. If we don't get snow, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah, what do we do? How do we what's our recourse?
I don't know.
Can we show the receipt to the meteorologist and say, hey, you said 100%.
Yeah, the Vegas odds there, you got to leave yourself a little leeway there. But they say more chances for snow tomorrow as well, turning into rain. So we have that to look forward to.
Hooray.
Yep. Lots of things going on this morning. Let's find out what's happening in the news. WSJM News is brought to you by our friends at Cornerstone Alliance. See GoMichigan.com. Cornerstone Alliance.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Here are some of the stories that we're following for you locally today. The Van Buren County Sheriff's Office reporting 2 marijuana dispensaries broken into early this morning. They're on the lookout now for 3 male suspects. Sergeant Paul Graham confirms just after 3 this morning, an establishment in Breedsville was broken into. It appears the suspects were not able to steal anything there. The crew then drove over to Almena. At approximately 3:40, they broke into the second marijuana dispensary. There, the sheriff's office says they were able to steal an amount of goods. The sheriff's office is on the lookout now for a black or dark gray late model Jeep, either a Cherokee or a Compass. 3 male suspects. One was seen on security footage and appeared to be Hispanic and in his late teens or early 20s. At last check, they were driving east toward Kalamazoo. If you have any information, you're asked to please contact the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office. I did talk with the Sheriff's Office this morning, and they expect to get us some photos taken from the surveillance video.
Okay.
So they hope to get that over to us, and we can share that with the public for their help as well.
Yeah.
Michigan State Police canines will be safer in the field thanks to a donation made to the MSP by a Kalamazoo company. Michigan State Police Chief Michael Brown with the 5th District in Pawpaw tells us Michael Tonto Alexander, the owner of Night Beams Products, offered the agency money to purchase beacon lights that can be added to canine harnesses.
We have 43 canine units across the state of Michigan, and the generous business owner donated enough money to outfit every one of the canines, basically from St. Joe down here all the way to the Upper Peninsula.
Brown says when state police canines are tracking suspects or missing persons, they can go miles into the field, especially if it's at night. The dogs can be difficult to follow.
Especially in rural areas, lots of people flee alongside the freeways, rural areas, or the flea house, and the canine units, they're out there by themselves or with another person for support, but they're out there in all kinds of terrain. That'll be great visibility for them from the air when needed.
Brown says the beacons are simple, small lights that can make a big difference. The $1,800 donation for the lights was made to the state police in Matawan late last week. And the village of Eau Claire is getting more than $1.8 million in grant monies from the state to improve its water system. The Michigan Department of Environment, Great Lakes, and Energy has announced a total of $17.7 million in My Clean Water grants for communities around the state. The grants are intended to help those communities upgrade aging infrastructure to ensure healthy drinking water and protect the environment. Eau Claire has been approved for $1.8 million for upgrades to the wastewater treatment system, including new influent control structures, a new outfall to Farmers Creek, new transfer structures and piping between lagoons, berm maintenance, and abandoning bypass structures. Eagle says 70% of Michiganders are served by more than 1,000 community wastewater systems, and a similar percentage get drinking water from community water systems. Those systems often struggle to find resources to address legacy issues like aging drinking water and stormwater facilities and new standards for chemicals. The My Clean Water grants are intended to help.
All right.
Can you imagine? I mean, you think about the infrastructure that's all over the United States, small communities, big communities, and the like, and you got water pipes that are working every day and decaying every day.
Right.
So you got to replace that on a regular schedule.
Yeah. Pretty costly stuff.
Big money. In the WSJM newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
Dave Wolf has sports for you here in just a few minutes. Right now, let's find out what's happening around the nation and the world with ABC News.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. New information surfacing about the Alaska Airlines jet whose door flew off just after takeoff Friday night. The door plug the FAA had been looking for has been found in the backyard of a Portland, Oregon school teacher named Bob, says NTSB Chair Jennifer Hamady.
We are really pleased that Bob found this.
Could you imagine?
No.
Sitting in your backyard, enjoying a nice glass of sweet tea or something like that in your rocking chair, because that's usually what I do in my backyard. And all of a sudden, just something falls out of the sky, and it just happens to be a door from a plane.
Man.
I tell you, man, these because it's the Boeing 737 MAX, which also had some issues, like a year or so ago, with some other things.
Yeah.
Now they're having issues now.
The 737 has not had a good track record, and the FAA has grounded all of them right now until they can inspect them. And Alaska Airlines and United, they're kind of partnered up on this. Yeah. They're waiting to see what the inspection is, because the airlines were waiting Sunday for details about how to do the inspections.
Right.
It's like, well, we inspected them. We checked all the alerts that were going off. What do we do now?
Yeah.
So anyway, NTSB, FAA, Boeing, they're all working together to figure out what in the world happened. What in the world happened here? I mean, would you rather be Bob, or would you rather be because Bob could have been hit by the door.
Yeah.
Could have been sitting out in his backyard or in his house or something like that. The door could have hit him. But would you rather be him or the person sitting in the seat next to the door that blew open?
Bob.
Yeah, I'd rather be Bob. Take my chances there.
Like if I see something coming out of the sky,
or hear a whistling noise.
Yeah, there's a good chance it would make some sort of noise before it hits the ground or hits me.
Mackerel.
So I got a chance to, just step to the side.
Yeah.
Now, somebody sitting in the window or sitting by the door, that's not going to go well for them or for anybody else in the plane.
Yeah. Let's see here. Found it in his backyard. Oh, investigators this is what I found interesting. You know how they always talk about the black box, how it tells you everything as long as you find it. Investigators will not have the benefit of hearing what was going on in the cockpit during the flight, because the cockpit voice recorder, one of the two so-called black boxes, recorded over the flight sounds after 2 hours.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. So I don't know why they didn't stop it at some point after they got on the ground. Stop the thing.
You're telling me there's only 2 hours of recording time?
I guess.
No. There's no way.
Seems like it.
There will be like 10-hour flights across the...
It recorded over the flight's sounds after 2 hours. I don't know why it did that.
Fishy. I don't like that. I need to investigate
investigate that. I'll investigate the door.
You're telling me
that's what it says
in
here.
this day and age of, I can pretty much on a keychain.
You can fit like 10 gigabytes on a little flash drive.
Right. You're telling me they haven't upgraded to something else.
I don't know.
Wow.
Maybe that's how long it takes for the approvals to come through on the new technologies.
Sure. Yeah, probably.
But that does seem a bit. I mean, the thing has to survive everything.
Yeah.
In the black box. And so they've got to do a lot of testing and that kind of stuff. But 2 hours seems like a really short period of time.
Absolutely. Because there are 4, 6, 8-hour flights that happen. So
well, but when an incident happens,
it only does
it's captured within that.
Okay.
But you would think that if an incident happens, then it would at some point go into backup mode or do something.
Interesting.
Yeah, the force of the door flying off did all kinds of stuff, including ripped the shirt off a kid that was in the plane.
Wow.
It ripped the headset off the co-pilot, and the captain lost part of her headset.
Glad it was just the shirt, man. That
Yeah, if the whole kit had gone, that would have been
well, anybody,
tragic.
yeah, the seats and all that stuff you'd think would go flying out there, man.
Just a nightmare.
Man.
Just a
And that's
nightmare.
a 737 MAX.
737.
737.
Yeah, yeah. So
They say
Boeing,
they do-
Boeing always does that. Yeah.
They don't say 737.
No.
Why
No.
can't they say 7? So if I'm saying a 747, I'm wrong.
Well, it's 747.
747.
747.
It's always on the TV in the movies.
can
They
say
always
the
say 747.
The 777 is fun to say.
Oh, well, I know you're from the Washington State
I was
area where
schooled by Boeing folks. Yeah.
yeah, they give you the proper etiquette because
was
everybody's
at-
getting it wrong because on movies and TV they always say, "Oh, 747."
That's how you know if they're an aviation expert or not.
All right, let's get back to the show.
Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. If you're just joining us, we were on our live stream, hanging out over there on our Facebook and YouTube. If you want to go there, you will get exclusive content that you can't find anywhere else. Stuff that we talk about on the radio, maybe, but maybe we have extended conversations about on our live stream. And one of the extended conversations, the things we were just talking about, I feel like we should talk about more here is what recently happened with a flight. Where was this flight going? Do we know?
Yeah, it was going from somewhere in, I think it was Portland, and it was going to California.
Okay.
So it was a short flight, and they purposefully were not putting it over water because they have issues. Alaska Airlines decided to restrict. So back up a couple steps.
Yeah.
Boeing 737 took off. It was in flight over Oregon, and all of a sudden their emergency exit door blew out.
Yeah.
Nobody injured, thank goodness. A lot of people scared the bejesus out of them, and they were able to land safely. Investigators are taking a look, but Alaska Airlines says, we found out since then, they decided to restrict the aircraft from long flights over water so the plane could return very quickly to an airport if a warning light would appear. And apparently they had warning lights indicating pressurization problems in this specific plane. It had lit up on 3 different flights. Now, it's unclear whether the pressurization light is related. A spokesperson has said that from the NTSB says the pressurization light might be unrelated to Friday's incident, in which the plug covering the unused exit door blew off and everything else happened. But the 737 MAX has been having a lot of issues. The whole fleet is grounded right now until the FAA and the NTSB and others, Boeing engineers, can get together and figure out, do we have a systemic issue here?
Yeah, because before, like a year or two before, they had like software issues or some sort of issue that caused it to have problems, and they had to ground the entire fleet. And I think they at one point thought about just saying, all right, we're moving on. We're going to stop making those. We're going to move on to something else. But they had resolved those issues. But now another thing's happening. So it's a lemon.
Well, I don't know if I can go that far, but it's definitely got some things to work out.
Yeah.
You don't want a plane losing something like an exit door mid-flight. Investigators have been looking at this. We talked about this a moment ago in the video stream, but they will not have the benefit of hearing what was going on in the cockpit during the flight. And we're still a little confused about this, but the cockpit flight recorder records over itself after 2 hours.
So you're telling me, okay, so
it's got a loop of 2 hours, and then it just keeps going.
So the black box, which actually isn't black, it's like orange or yellow.
One of two colors, so-called.
And so the recording, when does the recording start? Is it like during an incident, boom, something happens?
When you hit the record and play button.
Is it just that?
No. It's going.
So, or
like when they're, I don't know, when they flip the switch and start the engine.
I have thought initially that as soon as a flight begins,
right,
like you flip the switch,
even
like,
before,
hey, we're going.
Yep.
We're doing our pre-check. We're doing all the stuff. I thought it recorded all of that stuff from basically takeoff to landing. Anything that happens in there, they just go through the recording and double check.
This is a discussion about the voice recording.
Yeah.
And so that's the cockpit voice recorder.
Okay.
All that other data that you're talking about, it's probably just fine.
Okay.
because it takes up a lot less, you would think, memory.
So they could at least see like alarms.
What was happening
and,
with the pressurization and
Yeah.
the alarms and all this other stuff.
Hmm.
Did a goose hit the door?
Sure. Yeah. Or just something not properly lock or something like that.
Yeah, this is one of those exit things that it's not supposed to open.
No.
Ever.
Man,
Except for an emergency.
They do that whole big,
Yeah.
I mean, every flight attendant has to do all those shut the door, lock this, turn this, flip that.
Yeah.
So it's locked in place, but apparently something hardware wise was not working properly. And probably the alarm that says, hey, it's not, just like if you don't properly close your door in your car.
Right.
Or you don't put your seatbelt on correctly.
Gets angry.
It says,
Yeah.
boom,
Yeah.
you got a problem. Fix your door. Like if you get your seatbelt stuck in your door and it doesn't close properly, it'll say something.
Yeah. So the good news here is that the FAA is taking immediate action. They ordered the grounding of 171 of the 218 MAX 9s in operation, including all those used by Alaska Airlines and United Airlines, until they can be inspected. The airlines were still waiting for details about how to do the inspections, exactly what to look for. So they'll probably find out. I don't know. They may not find out today or tomorrow because engineers got to look at it and say, what in the world happened here?
Because when they had the software issues that they had a couple of years ago or a year or so ago, those were grounded for a while. Because they were doing check and pre-check and testing to see all that. But I mean, how do you test and see if it's going to happen again? I mean, do you put it through a whole entire pressurization and all that in a simulator? Or I don't know how that stuff works.
Yeah, they had this isn't an this has happened before.
Yeah,
this door thing flying out in 2018. Exactly the same kind of incident occurred to an older model of the Boeing 737 that was operated by Southwest Airlines. Debris from an engine failure broke one of the cabin windows while the plane was traveling at 32,000 feet. Sudden decompression, same thing. One passenger was partially sucked out of the window and died as a result of the injuries. That did not happen here. And so the immediate concern is this thing, like you said, Johnny, a lemon, or is it safe to fly?
Yeah.
So they'll check it out.
I got to say, if I hear that my next flight is going to be on a 737 MAX, good chance I'm going to try and reschedule. Yeah. This is why I don't fly. Dealing with something like that. Yeah. Like you double checked. And especially I don't want to be the one that's like, you're the one by the emergency door. I don't want that.
Well, usually you get more leg room there.
Yeah.
So I'll take the exit.
Your leg room's not going to be good. You're going to get a lot of breeze coming in as well.
This plane went into service in November of last year. And so it's a newer plane. It had just been approved to go into flight. In looking at the pictures of where the exit door used to be, did you see the seats, the seat backs? They're about yay big now.
Oh yeah.
They're very thin. Where the seat backs used to be like this, so you had some cushion, some comfort. Now it looks like you're sitting on a charcuterie board.
But aren't you supposed to use those as flotation devices, or that's
no, that's
seats?
the seat.
That's the seat.
That's under
so the seat's still
rear
bulky
end there. Yeah.
Okay, man.
Yeah.
So they're saving some space there.
Well, they're saving space if they save a fraction of an inch every row for 100 rows or 50 rows or whatever they have. Maybe you get another row.
Well, you're really going to feel those kids kicking your back
all the time.
Ugh. Awful.
Darn kids. Don't kick the seat.
This is why I'm just going to drive. Drive everywhere I need to go. They need to figure
London,
out that,
here we go.
that land bridge that'll take me all the way to London if we can make that happen. But gas prices are going down. Did you see that?
I've seen conflicting reports on this, but yes, I did see some gas prices are doing okay.
They say national average is it was $3.09 according to AAA. This is about 15 cents less than a month ago, about 13 cents less than a year ago. The average gallon of gas in Pennsylvania, if you're planning to go over there, $3.39. California is still pretty high, $4.70 per gallon. Nevada, average gallon, $3.95. I have not filled up lately. I'm due to fill up here pretty soon, so I'm not sure exactly what the prices are.
Well, if we were to drive down to Arkansas and get regular gas, it's $2.63 a gallon.
Ooh,
yeah,
dang!
I did see some driving by some gas stations. I saw stuff in the twos.
That's
here locally.
Good.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I think it'll be all right. Let's see. Michigan right now, we're looking at $2.80 for regular,
Okay.
$3.30 for unleaded, and $3.88 for the diesel.
What was your conflicting report that you saw?
Just
that
that
some of them not really going down as fast as they thought?
Some of the tensions in the Middle East really are it's just a matter of time before fuel prices start reflecting some of the tensions there and everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Because you've got some shipping lane traffic that's still an issue. The whole thing goes into a higher escalation military conflict. You've got some issues there.
So you're saying don't get excited about $3 a gallon.
I am saying don't get excited
Okay.
about where
All
the
right.
current gas prices are.
All right. Thank you.
Just
Thank
a
you for
prediction.
squashing my bug there.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right. I was excited for a moment. And
You
then
can still
just
be excited. Go get gas
stepped
today.
all over that.
Go get gas like right after the show.
Okay. I will do that.
Don't wait.
Catch you up with news, sports, and your Bloomberg Market Minute. That's all next. It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
At Sturgis Bank, it's our people that make the difference. Meet Jen Postello, mortgage lender for Van Buren.
Or just plug in your car.
Yeah, I should plug it in.
Yeah. Are we going to have AAA energy prices at some point?
No. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to say because I know in some cases you have to pay, but a lot of those plug-in places usually that's free.
Oh yeah, free.
So.
But I'm talking about for if you're charging at home. Let's imagine a place where the technology has gone to I can plug it into my home garage and it's going to energize overnight or something like that. Right now, your electricity prices are typically they want you to do stuff on the off hours.
Right.
Wash clothes, wash dishes, all this other stuff. Do it overnight when the load on the system is lower. So I just wonder if at some point if in the imagined world everyone has an electric car, that's going to put a heck of a additional load on the electric grid.
Yeah.
So are we going to have to do it overnight, or are we going to see that fluctuating price?
Or is it going to be like back in the what was like 1980, where you had to get gas on certain days?
Yeah, they started that in the late 70s during the Carter administration, where
it's going to be like that with charging.
Depending on what the last digit of your license plate was, odds on these days, evens on those days. It was crazy.
Yeah, we used to own a gas station at that time, and my mom would have to check all the license plates that are coming in.
That was her job.
Yeah, she's gas station attendant at that time, so she was like, "Nope, can't be here." So that's crazy.
Yeah,
but yeah, I wonder when it comes to charging how that's going to all work, because if we keep having more and more people, charging electric vehicles, if everybody on the whole block, and the whole that grid of that area is all charging their cars at the same time, I imagine you're not going to be able to do much of anything.
Well, and think about supply and demand always responds. And if the demand for gasoline goes down precipitously, as electric car proponents would hope, then the demand, the supply of gasoline provided is going to go down because the demand's going to go down. Well, we have gas stations on every block now.
Right.
What happens then when you start seeing some of them fold? Gonna have to drive 100 miles to get your gasoline.
Because I have not seen one gas station also have a charging thing right next door.
It makes sense.
And if they do, it's like a gas station that's by a grocery store that's like owned by the grocery store, like Meijer, for instance.
Right.
There's one there,
right?
But it's in the parking lot.
Yeah,
it's like you got gas station here, parking lot over here, charging station.
Yeah,
so
it'll
be interesting.
Good
I think my idea of owning electric charging convenience stores would be a great idea.
Yes. Yeah. And my idea of investing into extension cords.
Extension cords. All right. Just why would you need extension cords?
Because you can't reach
the
car.
Oh, okay.
The charger, or it runs out. You just got to get
the plug's pretty fun.
Instead of people pushing the cars, they just get an extension cord.
There you go. Yeah,
because if you run out of battery juice anywhere in the world, you're fine, because as long as you can run an extension cord to the nearest outlet.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah, because if you think about it, if you break down on the side of the road with a gas-powered car, you just grab your can, you walk to the nearest gas station, you fill up.
Yeah.
what are you going to have? An emergency power pack?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, that's not a bad idea.
See?
Walk up to somebody's door and say, hey, can I borrow can I plug in real quick?
I'll give you $20.
Yeah.
Let me plug in.
That's a lot. Good morning to Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Good morning to Alex.
Hey, Alex. Good to see you. A few others there.
Bill says, I don't like having the window open on my car. No door would be horrible. As long as she's still on the plane.
Think about the view. The view would be incredible.
Oh, it would be, for sure.
It's like, oh, look at that. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, but I went to fly a plane.
Scary as all
I went to
get
fly a
out.
plane, not to fly a Jeep with the door open.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get to your Bloomberg Market Minute here and then get back to the show.
Compared with the year before. That's a drop of 16%. Prior to that, Netflix had increased its new show offerings for the last decade. The cuts follow the Hollywood writer and actor strikes, which has hit production by studios overall. But generally, Netflix planned to narrow its slate going forward. Shares of Boeing are moving lower ahead of the opening bell, along with those of major airlines, after a door-shaped panel blew out on an Alaska Air Boeing 737 MAX 9 after it took off from Portland, Oregon last Friday. Gina Cervetti, Bloomberg Radio.
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Good morning. Just about 7:30 on this Monday. Yeah,
Monday.
It's Monday.
It's going to be a 5-day work week.
I know, the first 5-day work week that we've had all year.
Oh, man.
That's probably why you're feeling off today.
I found the actual verbiage for what that is. I'm feeling a disturbance in the force.
Ooh, okay. You got a disturbance in the force.
That's what it is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yoda.
No, I came in this morning and it just seemed lighter than it should be at what's it, 4 a.m. or whatever. And I told Johnny I feel a little bit off.
Yeah.
Tell me a story, make me feel good. He did.
I did.
You did.
I rocked you back to sleep. It was nice. It was a good moment. We had a moment there.
Yeah, disturbance in the force is now.
I think the disturbance became a disturbance in the force became a different kind of disturbance.
Yeah, I was very disturbed after that.
All right. Cloudy today, high 38 later tonight, 100% chance for some snow. Maybe that's what you were feeling. Maybe you were feeling the low pressure system.
Yeah.
Low down to 32 tonight. And then Tuesday, more snow possible with a low down to 32. It is going to be windy tonight, they say. Wind gusts up to about 30 miles per hour. So just be mindful of that, especially if you have to drive at any time this evening. Let's find out now what's happening in the news.
WSJM News now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg. Good morning. These are some of the stories we're following for you locally. The Van Buren County Sheriff's Office reporting 2 marijuana dispensaries broken into early this morning. They're on the lookout now for 3 male suspects. The Van Buren County Sheriff's Office confirms just after 3 o'clock this morning, an establishment in Breedsville was broken into. Right after that, at about 3:40 this morning, they broke into a second dispensary. And there, the Sheriff's Office says they were able to steal a substantial amount of goods. The Sheriff's Office is on the lookout for a black or dark gray late model Jeep, either a Cherokee or a Compass. There are 3 male suspects. One was seen on security footage, appeared to be Hispanic and in his late teens or early 20s. At last check, they were driving east toward Kalamazoo, though if they do change direction, come around our area. If you have any information, please contact the Van Buren County Sheriff's Office. Follow up on a story we started telling you about last Friday. Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel says Meijer customers in several counties have had their personal information stolen by a Grand Haven man who obtained their login information for Meijer's M-Perks program. 22-year-old Nicholas Moy is charged with 1 count of conducting a criminal enterprise, 1 count of using a computer to commit a crime, and 7 counts of identity theft. He's facing up to 20 years in prison. And businesses in Stevensville are being told of a new grant opportunity available through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation's Redevelopment Ready Communities program. Stevensville Village Manager Casey Dominguez tells us Stevensville recently qualified for the program. It opened up chances for the village to assist businesses. This grant is the first opportunity. And if you are interested in seeing some more information about that, just contact the Stevensville Village Hall. In the WSJM Newsroom, I'm Ken Lundberg.
Dave Wolf will catch us up with sports in just a few minutes. Also, ABC News, and find out what's happening around the state with the Michigan News Network.
The Michigan News Network.
I'm Greg Bowman. Get ready for a blast of winter. The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids projecting areas north of M46 could see more than 6 inches of snow. In southeast Michigan, the forecast calling for 1 to 3 inches before changing to rain tomorrow. Craig Bryson with the Road Commission for Oakland County says they're ready for anything.
Right now, really, we're just kind of watching the weather forecast and waiting. Our crews are, on call, ready to go 24/7. The equipment's ready to go. At this point, there isn't a whole lot we can do ahead of time. Just we do our routine maintenance as long as possible and switch over to snow or salt mode as needed when it occurs.
There's a lot riding on tonight's college football national championship game, pitting the Michigan Wolverines against the Washington Huskies. Governor Gretchen Whitmer making a friendly wager, betting a pack of Haze and Blue IPA from Big Lake Brewing in Holland against Washington Governor's Jay Inslee's case of wine. I'm Greg Bowman for the Michigan News Network.
All right. Good morning, everyone.
Oh, the
Good morning.
bet. Forgot to take a look at the bet. Let's see. Inslee, Whitmer bet. Let's see what we got here. Oh, here it is.
What are they betting? What's on the line?
Here's what's on the line. The stakes are high.
Oh, they're betting stakes.
No, they're not betting stakes.
That'd be a good bet.
That would be a good bet.
So this is Michigan governor, Washington state governor, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just trading barbs in this story. Let's see what the thing. Oh. Whitmer says, I'll send you some of Michigan's finest brewskis.
Oh.
If the Huskies somehow win this thing.
All right.
And Inslee said, you'll get some bottles of Natchez Heights wine.
Oh.
The finest wine in the world.
Oh.
Right from Washington State.
Oh. Is that true?
But they're both politicians, so your question is very apt. Is that true?
Yeah.
I think the taste is in the
Have you had that
tongue
wine?
of the beholder. No, I've not had that one, but there are some very, very good wines from Washington State.
Well, and I was thinking, when they say tasty brews, we know there's some great beers in Michigan. But
beers.
If you think about it,
Yeah.
a lot of hops come from the Washington region.
Yeah, Washington and Michigan are similar in some of their agricultural economy elements. Hops, grapes, cherries, all the same. Apples, yeah,
that's true.
There are more onions in Washington State.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Huh. Why so many onions?
I don't know, just the dryland farming.
Good environment for it.
Yeah, good climate, good environment. Not too wet. You don't want your onions too wet because you get onion rot.
Right. Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want that. I've not heard of them as the onion state.
Because nobody really wants that. I mean, you think about somebody with onion breath.
Right. Hey, what's your state fruit?
You know who?
It's the onion.
One of the chief competitors with Washington State as far as onions goes, Georgia. Because they have the Vidalia.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why they came up with the Walla Walla sweet onion. My dad was on the cover of Onion World. Come on.
No way.
He was.
Wait, first off, why are you just now telling me this?
I just got stuff.
And two, I did not know there was an Onion World magazine.
There's a magazine for everything.
Does this picture exist somewhere?
I've looked for it on the web.
Because it was probably a while back.
Yeah,
right?
it was a while back. I've looked for it on the web. I can't find it on the web. I'm thinking about contacting the publishers because they must have an image of it somewhere.
Archives, yeah. They got it. Or even just I'm sure a local library where it's printed, maybe.
Yeah, it could be. Because I don't even know where the publisher's office is.
Onion World.
Onion World.
I gotta look this.
Look it up. Onion World. Yeah.
Onion World magazine.
Yeah.
Sure enough, there it is. Onion World magazine. Onionworld.net.
Yeah, I looked on their website at some point. But the reason Dad was on the cover of Onion World was because he was a field man for a seed company out of California.
Okay.
I think it was Peto Seed at that time. He worked for Simplot, Peto Seeds, Seminis Seeds. Then he had his own outfit for a while, but he was big into onions and did a lot of the growing, just like it was your grandfather.
My grandfather's a part of the Michigan Asparagus board.
Yeah. And we have
a couple other things.
We have asparagus in Washington State as well, by the way.
Wow.
One of the hardest crops to harvest.
Oh, yeah.
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 because it's all manual labor right
Yep.
down there.
My mom said she likes to eat asparagus, does not like to harvest it.
Love
She had to
eating
do that when she
asparagus.
was a kid.
Yeah, boy, that's tough.
Not
Character
fun.
building.
Yeah, character building. Because I think I'm pretty sure that's kind of still how they are harvesting it
Wow.
now. I don't think they have machines that are properly doing all that stuff.
We used to go down the ditch banks and just get our own. Because
Right.
they used to grow wild on the ditch banks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's I've had that even by my house when I was growing up.
Good
Just
stuff.
take the dog for a walk, jump in the ditch, grab some asparagus.
Absolutely.
Got some snacks. Onion World Magazine. Yeah. I'm wondering they even have an Onion podcast. And this is not this is
Because you
different.
peel back the layers of the story.
Exactly. And this is not like the news outlet, the fake news outlet, the Onion.
No, it
this
is
is a
not.
totally different one. This is just for agricultural purposes.
I bet Onion World just cringes
When they see the Onion.
When they see the Onion. But I love the Onion. The Onion's great.
Yeah, I wonder where they I bet because not everything is on the internet, but everything that exists out there is probably in archives somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm sure you could find that cover.
It's got to be.
If you know roughly the date and the year, like month and year of when it came out.
I might have the decade if I'm lucky.
At least that. Yeah. I assume it comes out once a month. So yeah, you got 1 in 12 chance in finding one.
It's probably quarterly. I'm looking at it here. Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, that'd be even easier.
Yeah, that would be.
But yeah, there you go. So the folks, if Onion World Magazine, if you're watching this live stream or listening to our show, I'd love to get a copy of that.
Yeah.
I've not been on the cover of a magazine that I can think of.
How about a newspaper?
I've been in newspapers.
On the cover, on the front page, top of the fold?
Yeah.
Okay.
With the entertainment section a few times.
That's the entertainment. Front page.
Front page? Yeah, I think I've been in the front page.
Okay.
But for sure the entertainment section a few times in here and in South Bend.
Very nice.
Yeah. Not the greatest pictures, but they exist out there. Anyways, magazine wise, I think publications, alumni magazines and things like that, but nothing major. It's my bucket list. Get on the cover of a magazine.
Maybe we should create a magazine.
Oh.
And then we can put ourselves on it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Oprah.
Yeah.
Just every month. It's just Oprah in a different pose and a different outfit.
Like Martha Stewart, too. Does she do that?
I thought she changes it up.
Oh, does she?
She
Does
might do
put
the
other
same.
people
She
on
might
there?
do the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah. O Magazine or Oprah Magazine. It's like just Oprah. It's Oprah again. Hey, who's going to be on the cover this month? Oprah.
Oprah. That's funny.
Which, it's her magazine. She could do what she wants. But, why can't it be Oprah and someone else? Like, hey, this is the person I'm going to feature.
Yeah, share the wealth.
In the magazine. Like, friend or person she's interviewing. Nope, just Oprah.
Did you know? So, if you know some of my guilty pleasures, one of them is following the Royals and specifically the ongoing fight between Meghan Markle
That's still going on,
and
right?
the Royals. She is apparently going to write a memoir.
Really?
So everyone else I thought they told their story like 5 different times, and now I'm hearing news that she's going to
Prince Harry wrote one.
He did, Spare.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it was not it didn't make money. It didn't make back what they advanced him.
Oh, darn.
But they also told their story. What was it, on Netflix?
Yeah, they did a Netflix thing.
They did the Netflix thing.
But they had a podcast or something
they did the
Oprah.
Oprah interview.
Yeah, they did the Oprah.
The big, now she's apparently thinking about writing a memoir to keep it going.
All right.
That is a one-trick pony.
All
All
right, let's get back to the show.
All right.
Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
It's the morning show on 94.9 WSJM.
Hey, good morning. Be part of the show anytime. You can call 925-WSJM. You can email let's talk at WSJM.com. We're on our Facebook, YouTube, and X. If you want to come hang out with us, we'd love for you to do that. Lots of things going on in the news this morning. We actually have a little interview that you did here in just a moment.
Yep. Talking about solar energy and some of the fight there.
But some other things going on that I saw in the news was the looming government shutdown. We talked about this last week when we were talking with Congressman Tim Walberg about, is there going to be a government shutdown? Because the 18th or 19th was the the deadline to get some sort
Yeah,
of continuing resolution or whatever?
Sometime that week. Congressional leaders, though, have apparently clinched a deal on overall budget totals that could pave the way for a broader government funding compromise. This is, Speaker Mike Johnson was elected during some of the tumult last, was it the summer, fall, going into the, and so coming from the conservative right flank, there's a lot of criticism saying, you made another deal to keep the government funded. What in the world? And so hopefully there's not another case of a House Speaker being thrown out. But anyway, this does apparently send lawmakers on their way to getting the government funded. The long-stalled agreement, which was announced yesterday afternoon, establishes funding limits for the military and domestic programs for the fiscal year, which, by the way, began last October.
Yeah.
They've been running on a continuing resolution since there, allowing House and Senate appropriations folks to begin hashing out their differences on the remaining dozen spending bills. The partial government shutdown is just about 12 days away, so that puts us at the 20th.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 20th, under the bipartisan agreement that Johnson, the House Speaker, negotiated with Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, defense funding is set at $886 billion.
Nice.
In line with the president's request. And it also pegs non-defense funding at nearly $773 billion, a total that counts tens of billions of dollars agreed to alongside the debt limit package, the so-called side deal that conservatives had tried to kill. So we'll see what happens with this. Still looming is that whole Ukraine and border security debate. See if the details flesh that out.
So the fully passed budget,
we're still waiting on that. We're
not going to happen till October.
Like I say, we're 12 days away. We'll see, but this seems like a good sign for those who want to see the government continue operating.
All right. Well, we'll definitely keep our eyes on that, and I'm sure to finish all the other stuff, they'll wait all the way until 11:59 to get something exactly hashed out and everything.
Yeah, right. Nothing drives action in Washington like a deadline.
Right, exactly.
Every single time.
They're like, hey, let's order a pizza.
Yeah.
Let's get some sodas in here, and let's pull an all-nighter.
Yeah.
And get this all done. Other things though, you do have a special interview that you did.
One of the
this up.
One of the things we talked about late last week, and we wanted to dig further into this, was this potential ballot initiative. There was a committee that has launched a ballot initiative movement to restore local control of utility scale solar and wind projects. And the statement we received last week was a bipartisan group of individuals from across the state launched a group called Citizens for Local Choice. They formed themselves to, what they say, restore voters' rights in land use decisions for industrial, wind, and solar operations. If you remember, there was a House bill in Lansing that kind of flew through committee, flew through the House and Senate, and got signed into law. And it was part of the governor's What's Next deal. And what's next was, we need more renewable energy. And so the governor's plight was, we need more renewable energy, but there are a lot of local zoning decisions that are slowing down our move towards solar energy. And so what the solution, quote unquote solution, was to have the state legislature take the zoning decisions and put them ultimately in the hands of the governor's one of the governor's boards. I forget the name of it right now, but it's the Michigan Public Service Commission, 3-member board. All 3 members appointed by the governor. A lot of people took issue with that because they said it just takes the decision out of local control. So what we did is we caught up with Kevin Martis. He's one of the leaders of Citizens for Local Choice, and we talked with him for a few minutes. We'll go through this interview, and then we'll come back and close it out.
Tell me what inspired you to become involved in this initiative?
I've been involved in the often and contentious renewable energy zoning issues since I was a planning commissioner in my own township of Riga Township in 2009. And our community had concerns about the proposed scale of, at that time, a wind project, which would have been 85 turbines in our township, 500 feet tall, which is a substantial change from the way that we currently live. So we adopted a zoning ordinance then that was a compromise that would have allowed the project to go forward if the developer had negotiated agreements with the neighboring landowners to compensate them for their loss of amenity and quality of life. And that was something the developer was not interested in. Once I did that, people and the developer decided they did not want to proceed. My phone has never stopped ringing for the last 13 years.
Yeah, I mean, it seems as if some of these industrial scale wind and solar farms have gone forward and some have not. And those that have not have run into, I think it's fair to say, issues with local ordinances or local belief that it just doesn't work in their community. And
Right.
so some went forward, some did not. And now the legislature, this was a whirlwind that when it came through, and it was and the governor called for it in her What's Next speech. How does that strike you?
Unfortunately, this whole push is based on something of a misinformation, and that Michigan, with local control, particularly of wind energy zoning, has actually permitted more wind development in the last decade than the states of Wisconsin and Ohio combined, despite them having state level siting. And so it's not been nearly the obstruction that they claim it is. Of course, now we have a push for really massive amounts of solar in particular. And the concern there is we have 4.6 million acres of state ground and tens of thousands of acres of brownfields and MDOT rights of way and industrial sites that are a great place for this stuff. But this bill is really designed to just grease the skids to locate utility scale solar in only one place, and that's on farm ground, and high quality farm ground at that. And that's really the contentious issue in these local communities, because state policy has encourages for decades, and federal policy, to preserve agricultural production. And now they're looking at maybe as many as 300,000 acres of farm ground. That's monstrous amounts. And that's really what the source of conflict has been locally.
Are you opposed to solar energy?
No, there's great places for solar. Rooftop solar has virtually no meaningful land use implications. Curiously, for years, city of Ann Arbor had regulations that made it nearly impossible to build solar because of their concerns about appearance. That slowly changed over time. But no, there's a place for renewable energy. This is not a fight about whether or not wind and solar are good or bad. This is a question about who should be the ultimate authority. And right now, it will be controlled by the 3 members of the Public Service Commission and the chairman who has deep ties to the renewable energy industry, which doesn't really sit well with the local folks.
You point out in the news release that it's a bipartisan effort. Can you talk about that?
It absolutely is. And the concerns over these issues in the rural townships has always been bipartisan. Most rural townships, some are Democrat, but typically more often Republican, but usually 30 to 40% Democrats, usually organized labor members and these kinds of things. They all share the same concerns. It turns out we're all just folks. We're just people. And I will say that this truly is a bipartisan effort. We have Democratic support, including environmental groups like from the Upper Peninsula, who've always been involved and concerned on this issue as wind projects look to impact the Michigamme Highlands and the Upper Peninsula. One of my points that I've been making is we're in a highly fractious time politically, both in our state and in our nation. But MTA's polling, Michigan Township Association polling, shows 87% opposition to this law, including 85% Democrats and 91 or 92% Republicans. This issue is a chance for our entire state to unite across party lines and work together for the common good. And that's my plea to everybody. This is not an argument about renewables. This is not an argument about Trump versus Biden. This is an argument about who's best situated to take care of our local communities.
Yeah.
So there you go. When something like that had such present opposition, especially when the legislation was being considered and how quickly it went through, it's not surprising that it became an immediate ballot initiative.
Right.
Maybe the first of several, but we'll see.
Yeah. We'll definitely keep our eyes on that.
Yep.
Coming up here in just a little bit, we will have your Moody on the Market update. It's the morning show at 94.9 WSJM.
Hi, this is Pat Moody. Want to be in the know of what's happening in the business community here?
Where was that guy from?
Leewinnay County.
Leewinnay County.
Yeah. Yeah, just south of Ann Arbor and Detroit on the Ohio border.
And the group is called...
Boy, you're making me call all this stuff back up.
And your middle name and your social security number is...
exactly. The group is Citizens for Local Choice.
Oh, I have it right over here. I should have just read
And
it
they
up.
set up a website. And
okay.
Yeah, they're hoping to get on the ballot for November. They've got 180 days to collect 357,000 signatures.
I will say the ballot sounds like it's going to be pretty full with a lot of stuff.
Boy, oh boy. Yeah, it is.
And the deadline for that, all that stuff to get it on the ballot is coming up.
Well, like I say, he's got 180 days, or the group has 180 days to get their stuff together for the ballot.
Sure.
So there's still some time, and other issues that people can expect on their ballot in Buchanan. Organizers are still trying to organize their recall effort for the mayor there. I did get a call. There's a meeting in Buchanan tonight where Dan Viansky believes he's going to be asked for his resignation from the council.
Oh.
So that pretends to be a interesting meeting this evening in Buchanan, so we'll keep an eye on that one too.
It's fun to go to those meetings, I'm sure.
Whew.
Entertainment.
I tell you.
Yeah, if you want to catch that for sure. Yeah, lots been going on. Those, like the past few meetings for the past month and a half or two have been pretty interesting to be covering.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely be in attendance and get you information on that. Do we want to say a quick hello to Teresa?
Hey, Teresa.
Good morning, Teresa. And good morning to all the other folks that are watching on our live stream.
Happy Monday.
So yeah, we got a few things coming up. Moody on the Market update is on the way. What are we Moody on the marketing today?
We're reminding people about the businesses in Stevensville. They can go for that grant.
Oh yeah,
MEDC
that's
grant.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, grants and all that stuff. It's very important to sign up for those things when that's available, because when money is available, take advantage of whatever you can, whether you're a nonprofit organization or a village or something like that.
Yeah.
Don't leave money on the table, as they say, right?
Yeah.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
I guess that's what they say. Who that they is, we don't know, but it's they. They say it. All right, let's get back to the show here in just a moment. We'll get you informed on the Moody on the Market stuff. Speaking of Moody, let's check in with Moody.
That affordable parking and ease of access and considerably fewer hassles and people to contend with will likely win out in the grand scheme of things. And that, my friends, is why I fly from SBN. South Bend International Airport is my airport. Is it yours?
The Morning Show with Jonny and Ken on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
When you want to know Southwest Michigan's business, we got you covered at moodyonthemarket.com and the Moody on the Market app. Everything from business updates like, hey, a new business popping up, or hey, a business is for sale, or a business changing hands, or business any kind of stuff. That gossip that people hear about.
Business gossip. We love it.
I saw a construction crew, or I saw some people with a dumpster outside of this building. Maybe they're starting to clean up and do something. Hey, if you got information like that you happen to see, if you've been sleuthing on your own, feel free to reach out to us and send us a tip. And they can do that a couple of different ways. Go into the website. There's a link there to get us information, but they can also directly send us some stuff too, right?
Yeah, there are a couple of different ways, and I highly recommend you just go to the website, moodyonthemarket.com, click on Contact Us, and you can see all the different ways that you can submit the information there. Just email me directly. My email address is on there.
Boom.
But join the ranks of those who are giving us tips, and we'll keep your information anonymous.
All right, nice. It's kind of like they're a contributor. They're a contributor to our contributors.
Absolutely.
Check out the Moody on the Move series as well as the awards program. Your update brought to you by our friends at Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations at St. Joseph and in Niles.
And talking about businesses in Stevensville are being told of a new grant opportunity. We've been talking about this in the news. We wanted to make sure you got this information. A new grant opportunity available through the Michigan Economic Development Corporation's Redevelopment Ready Communities Program. Stevensville Village Manager Casey Dominguez tells us that Stevensville recently qualified for the program, opening up chances for the village to assist businesses. This grant really is the first opportunity.
Mm-hmm. It's called Match on Main. It's a reimbursement grant program through the MEDC that could provide up to two village businesses, that is, up to $25 for eligible business activities. Those could range from
up to 25,000.
25,000.
Yep.
There's no 1,000 in there.
Yeah, they missed the 1,000. That's
a big difference.
That's
there.
A big difference.
It's a couple zeros missing. I was like, $25. That's not going to do very much. Those could range from technical support, from building site plans. It could help with purchasing new inventory for a business, marketing, purchasing technology, activating an indoor and outdoor space. So great stuff.
If you are a business in Stevensville and you're interested in this, they're going to make the decision by February 23rd. Just contact the Stevensville Village Hall, and you can read that full article at moodyonthemarket.com.
And we'll be making some edits and adding a few more zeros.
Yeah,
to
there you
that
go.
article. There you go.
More zeros.
Your update brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today, your local auto owners agency with locations in St. Joseph and in Niles.
We're watching over you.
I knew that seemed suspicious when I was like, $25? No way.
My suspicion is that the transcriber that caught her quote
didn't get 1,000.
Didn't put the 1,000 in there, and our sleuth editors failed at their job. So,
dang it!
Yeah,
That's
we
all
should
right.
fire the editors.
That's why we have people that check stuff.
Yeah, like
us.
Just
read it out loud. A lot of people just look at stuff. I always tell people when I say, hey, take a look at this. I wrote it, or I wrote this report, or whatever. Take a look at it, but also read it out loud.
Yeah,
because that's another way of like, your eyes can fool you.
That's right.
But the voice never fails. Right? Is that what they say? No, I just made that up.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. You have a great day. We're about wrapping up here. We're going to get to the next hour of the show.
That flew by.
Yeah. Lots of things tonight. The national championship game with Michigan and Washington. Going to be happening a little later this evening. I wish that these national championship games, we talked about it last week, where we had the playoff game was on Monday, and that was pretty late.
Yeah.
Well, Michigan's game was early. That was like at 4:00, but the Washington side of the championship that they had against Texas, they had to play at like 8:45.
That's way too late.
Yeah.
They need to figure this out.
So this is a game that's going to be in Houston tonight, and I believe
it's going to be in Houston.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I believe Bob Buchholz.
Was there?
I think he's there.
Get out of town.
I think he's there. I'm gonna have to text him because he told me because he's got season tickets. He goes to the Michigan games all the time. He said if they won, he had a line on some tickets. He knew somebody that could get him some tickets, and I'm pretty sure he's at the game. So I'll have to text him and get an update and see how things are going.
In a 737 MAX to get down there?
No.
Okay, good.
Honestly, if I were him, I would just drive it. I know it's a long drive.
You like to drive,
but I would just drive it, man. Because if
cannonball run it down.
If you knew, because he's retired now, and if you knew last Monday they won, take your time.
You've looked at the weather systems that are coming across the U.S.
Yeah,
right?
You would have been fine. Getting back would be probably an issue, but hey, better than flying. We'll get to news here in just a little bit, but you guys have a great rest of your day.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks everybody for your good mornings, and feel free to continue the conversation if you'd like while we get out of here. Bye now.